Hello everyone, it's the Bookatarian here. Welcome back to a new weekly reading vlog. I've just decided to start these up again because this readathon that I'm participating in, the ACMC Readathon, hosted by Elliot Brooks, is something that's gotten me really excited in a way that I was not so excited to do in February. So I took a little break from reading vlogs in February, but now I am back for the month of March, and I am starting off by reading The Beast Player by Naoko Uehashi. And I started this at midnight last night, so technically the 1st of March. And I got to page about 55. I edited and uploaded my TBR video this morning, so I have some time to read a little bit more before I have to go into work at 1. And then I have a day off from work tomorrow, so I will likely be getting a lot more reading done than tomorrow as well. I'm really interested in this book. I'm enjoying it a lot so far. The way it's being told, like the exposition, is really interesting to me. It's not something that I have ever come across before, so that's always a fun surprise. And its own voices, inspired by a Japanese world, written by a Japanese author. It was translated work, so yeah. I'm really enjoying it. I really love Elin as a character. I'm listening to it as an audiobook as well as physically reading it. So I'm really enjoying this book. So that is what I'm starting off this week by reading. I should definitely be able to finish it this week and probably pick something else up as well. So yeah, just thought I'd tell you that this is what I'm starting off the month of March by reading. Alright, good morning. It is Tuesday at about 8:40 a.m. I woke up an hour ago, so if my voice is still groggy, that's why. I am about 26% of the way through Beast Player by Naoko Uehashi. I will be going grocery shopping this morning. Once I have finished drinking my coffee, I already ate breakfast. Hello, it is just after 1 p.m. on Tuesday still. I have a little more than 100 pages left of the Beast Player, so my plan is to take a bath and finish the book, hopefully within the span of the next few hours. It should be very easily manageable, as this book is just intriguing me beyond like anything that I could have possibly hoped for. I knew I would enjoy it. I did not realize how much I would enjoy it and how intriguing the entirety of this book is. I love the characters. I love the world. I love the complexity of the ecosystem that we get to see through Elin's involvement with the royal beasts, and the only thing we don't get so much of a look at are the Toda, because like we heard about Toda just in general as, you know, beasts. They're a range of beasts in the world that are sort of like feared and revered at the same time by the humans living in this empire that Elin is living in. And we hear about the Akiba in the very beginning, and they're just one type of Toda. We don't see any other kind of Toda aside from the Akiba. And so I'm just like, well, are we going to see more of the different kinds of Toda eventually in the series? I would like that, because so far we only have the Akiba and the royal beasts, and royal beasts are not exactly Toda, or they're like the hierarchy, top of the tier of the Toda in general, because they are the predators preying on the Toda in general. Anyways, I would like to see still more of the development of the different Toda. I don't think it's going to happen before the end of this book, but that's the only thing that is still kind of lacking for me. But everything else, like the political intrigue, is just getting so cleverly interwoven within the book, and the vibes that I'm getting from this book. And I love Elin. She's so adaptable to like every situation that life seems to throw at her. And I also realized when I was editing and uploading my March TBR video that I forgot to mention that I also want to continue my reread along of the Grisha trilogy before the Netflix show is released in April. So I will also be trying to reread Siege and Storm sometime this month as well. So it brings the amount of books that I want to read to 9. as well as, and I didn't mention this in my TBR video either, because I started it in February when it was released. I have A Court of Silver Flames here by Sarah J. Maas, and I picked it up sometime last week. I'm about 75 pages into it. I've been slowly kind of chipping away at it, and I think it's going to be something that I continue to slowly reading a little bit when I just feel in the mood to read a little bit of Sarah J. Maas. And I've heard that the themes in this book are so heavy, so that's kind of why I'm just like, okay, we'll take it a bit at a time. But I, however, have already kind of been mildly spoiled for not even just major things, just characters that you meet in this book. So I need to stay off of Pinterest. I need to stay away from any spoilers I could possibly come across until I finish it, which is kind of hard, as scrolling through Pinterest is like one of my all-time go-to pastimes. I'm not scrolling through Twitter so much as just like looking through Pinterest, as I'm not doing anything else, so I may as well do this type of activity. But it's not set on my TBR. If I don't happen to finish it by the end of March, I'm not going to punish myself because I didn't put it on my TBR. It's more of a straight enjoyment, mood-only read. So that's just that. An explanation, so potentially I could be setting myself up to read 10 books this month. So we'll see. And I mean, 10 books, it's not like I've not done that. But this book in itself is the size of like 3 of the other ones that I have on my TBR. Total combined. It's 750 or something pages long. Okay, so final check-in for the day. I have finished The Beast Player. It is about 4:30-ish, 4:30 p.m. So I do still have plenty of daylight hours, or daytime hours, I suppose, to pick something else up as well. But I've really enjoyed it. I just wanted to share my thoughts on this book with you. I enjoyed it a lot. I did not love it enough to give it 5 stars. You know, I don't think it'll end up being 5 stars once I run it through the cop pile because of some things in the plot of this book I did see coming. A lot of the themes in this book were so refreshing and unusual as far as themes that I find through most fantasy books. You don't think about some of the things that are mentioned specifically in this, as far as how difficult it is to understand creatures, like animals just in general, because we're not them. They don't have the functionality to think and communicate in the same ways that humans do, so the fact that we can, research facts and observations about what we see from them doesn't mean we understand them completely, or vice versa. And animal captivity and the moral conflictedness of that general idea was heavily themed in this book, and rightfully so. I've never actually thought about it so much as I did when I was reading this book, and so I just really enjoyed it. And another book that this kind of reminded me of, in a little bit more of a negative way, since I didn't actually enjoy the book nearly on the same level as I have this, is The Name of the Wind, because we cover a period of 10 years of Elin's life through the entirety of this one book in less than 400 pages. It was done so well. The time jumps, it all just kind of seemed to flow seamlessly. And another thing, if I had to say, I didn't quite enjoy as much were the many perspectives that we got in this book. Some of them didn't seem as necessary, and the one perspective I would have liked to have seen more from, Ialu, was not in here nearly as much as I would have liked. I think I'll probably pick up Siege and Storm next, my reread of Siege and Storm. Because, and I know I didn't mention this previously, but the Netflix adaptation of Moxie is going to come out tomorrow. And so I would like to designate a chunk of time, sometime tomorrow, to be able to watch Moxie and perhaps talk about my feelings in the vlog, or else make a separate video for that, because I know I will definitely have opinions on the movie as far as its adaptation and what they did well and whatever. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to reading that tomorrow. Watching the movie tomorrow at some point in time. Hello, it is Thursday night. I kind of skipped a day or two. I don't know. I don't remember when the last time I updated you was, but it's Thursday night at about 9 p.m. I read Siege and Storm since the last time I updated you. I was thinking about picking it up, but yeah, I just straight up read it over the course of the last 2 days. Finished it this morning. I think it was this morning. And then I started along the same time The Knife of Never Letting Go by Patrick Ness. I think I'm pretty close to 100 pages into it, if not exactly. I'm close to 100 pages into The Knife of Never Letting Go. The Knife of Never Letting Go is it follows this boy named Todd who grew up in this kind of isolated town on Earth, which they call the New World, is their like land basically, and they live in a town called Prentice Town, and there are no women or girls. They all died of a germ that they got sick with basically, and the germ also brought this thing called the noise, which is basically allowing them to hear everyone else's thoughts, and not just the men, but all living creatures in general. So you got a random squirrel, you can hear his thoughts, he can hear you. It's real interesting, and there's absolutely no privacy in this town. Anyway, so Todd is 1 month before turning 13, and then he will become a man. I love Manchi, which of course is the whole point of me reading this book, is because Manchi, the dog, is an animal companion and a very big part of the series, I think. Or trilogy. I know it's a trilogy. So yeah, I'm reading that. I gave my reread of Siege and Storm 5 stars. I don't think my feelings toward that book in particular have changed at all since the last time I read it. I still loved it. It was interesting. I was looking through the Goodreads reviews, and a lot of people seem to not like Siege and Storm as much as they enjoyed Shadow and Bone. For me, I can see why people wouldn't like it because of, I don't know, I wouldn't say it was slow. The pacing is definitely much different, but I don't see it as a bad thing, necessarily. I don't know. Either way, I'm glad I got that reread in there after I completely forgot to mention it when I made my TBR video. Whoops. So that one's another checked off the list. I should be able to finish The Knife of Never Letting Go before the end of the weekend, I'm hoping. I made a big deal about it in earlier days. I mentioned that I was really excited to watch the Netflix adaptation of Moxie by Jennifer Mathieu. I still do not know how to say her name. That's not changed. But anyways, I just want to say that I am not disappointed, just a little bit let down by the nature of some of the changes that I didn't think were really necessary. Yeah. The adaptation changes that they did, I didn't think that they needed to make so many as to completely change the way the book did a lot of things. Yeah, I still enjoyed it, and if it was just a movie on its own, I would love the movie. It would be great, because I'm all about the feminist girl power stuff. I would really enjoy it, but I know what the book does is so much different, and so much better, in my opinion, the way that the book does it. Sure, it makes me rage and hate the patriarchy nonstop, but that's the point! You're supposed to hate the patriarchy when you're reading that book, and a lot of other books that have high feminist themes. So yeah, I was just a little bit let down and sad that it let me down, but it's not that I won't rewatch it, because I likely will, especially when I'm like in a patriarchy mood. I'll just go and watch the movie. It'll make me feel a little bit better. But yeah, I was a little bit let down by that. So I'm kind of lowering my expectations now for Shadow and Bone, even though I know that Lee Bardugo has said that it's not going to be nearly as closely tied to the books. The Netflix show adaptation for Shadow and Bone is not going to be as closely tied to the books as a lot of people would have assumed that it would be. So I already have that expectations that things are going to be different. And I mean, right away, as soon as I saw the Darkling, his cast character name is General Kerrigan, I was like, okay, that's different. Definitely, yeah, so I was immediately expecting that things would be much different than how I would prefer them to be as an adaptation Nazi. Basically, so yeah, I'm already lowering my pretty low set expectations down even more because Netflix has let me down. Hopefully, Shadow and Bone will be okay. I'm really hoping because I really want to enjoy it, so we'll see. I will check back in with you sometime tomorrow or Saturday. I don't know. Good morning, everyone. It is Sunday at like 7:45 in the morning. I woke up at 7 and I did the dishes. It was already a very super productive day for my day off of work. I didn't do much reading over the span of Friday, Saturday, because I was working and I was just really tired, and so I didn't feel much like reading. I was just mostly gaming and stuff like that. I don't remember how far into the book I am, though. So I'm actually about halfway through the book, so it's not bad. I do think I can finish it today. Hopefully. I'll be able to finish it today and start maybe Sunday. And that'll be basically the end of this reading vlog, as it is Sunday, the last day of the week. I will edit this vlog and upload it on Monday. I've decided to set scheduled days finally for me to be uploading as Monday and Friday. I didn't upload a video on Friday because I just didn't, so it's starting today. My upload days will be a Monday and Friday. Thank you all so much for watching this vlog, and I will see you all in the next video soon. Bye!